We getting shot in the streets.
I'm just like you.
We getting locked by these caps.
I'm just like you.
We fulfill the prophecies.
I'm just like you.
You might be light, I might be dark.
But I'm just like you.
We kill each other over colors.
I'm just like you.
I'm in these ghettos, in these slums.
I'm just like you.
They call you nigga, call me spick.
And I'm just like you.
You was 1619, I was 1492. We getting shot in the streets.
I'm just like you.
We getting locked by these caps.
Welcome to FCN Quick News of the Day. My name is Officer Eben, and in today's news we have...
In April 2023, while he was still in the 6th grade, David was called the N-word at lunch by a white classmate. After the assistant principal called David's mother, Nita Holder, to notify her, Holder suggested the school coordinate a restorative justice mediation session with the white classmate. School never set up the meeting or implemented any accountability measures. No time. 5 months later, some students called David the N-word in the school library and then attacked him. In that instance, the teachers restrained David and treated him as the offender, the suit states. He told teachers about the racial slur, but the school went on to suspend him from school for a day, while the white students who started the fight were never punished. David's mother complained to the school's leadership, who said they would investigate the incident thoroughly, but, wait for it, they never followed up with her. That's according to the complaint. Lena Blackstar, NBC 10, with the details on this one. January 2024. White classmate called David the N-word in a group chat. I'm sensing a theme here. This is what it feels like. There's a pattern. Called David the N-word in a group chat and then attacked him 2 days later. School treated David as the aggressor again and placed him on an emergency removal, which subjected David to a 2-day school suspension under state law. Gotta follow the rules, David. Gotta follow the rules. Teach you early, don't they? David's mother followed up with the school again, showing them a cell phone video confirming that David did not start the fight. School lifted the threat of suspension, but never investigated the racial slur or instituted preventative measures to protect David. I guess they deemed that David was bringing everything on himself, right? That's what it feels like. Student text messages are equally disturbing. According to NBC 10, one student messaged David, quote, "I have only said it, the N-word, once, David, but I can name 100 people in this school that say it on a daily basis." She told him, huh? Or he. David's mother quickly enrolled him in a different school district. Only then did school administration launch an investigation into the racial abuse after they got him out of there.
Okay, we can stop right there. All right, so this is, again, another curse that our people have to deal with. We have to deal with the hatred of the other nations to us as a nation of people. So let's start off with Deuteronomy chapter 20 and verse 15. So why do nations hate us? Why are these things happening to us as a nation of people? Let's find out.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So Moses warned us as a nation of people, if we do not hearken unto God's voice, if we do not keep his commandments, that curse is going to come upon us as a nation of people. When that young child went through, that is a curse that's happening to us. That's happening to him. And let's prove that. Verse 37.
Verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
So no matter where we go on this earth, we're going to be a proverb, a byword amongst all nations, which the Lord has lead thee. Because it doesn't matter if we're in America, we're in Canada, we're in the Caribbean, South America, Europe, we're in Africa, Asia. No matter where our people are on in this earth, they have a special byword for us. They have a special N-word for us. Doesn't matter if we're called niggas. Doesn't matter if we're called beads, akatas. All nations have that N-word, that byword for us. Because why? Deuteronomy 28 verse 37. Doesn't matter where we are in this earth. All nations are gonna have a proverb and a byword for us. So now let's jump down to verse 45.
Verse 45.
Uh-huh.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed.
So it says, all these curses shall come upon thee, and they shall pursue thee, and overtake thee. Because we have a lot of parents out there. They want the best for their children. They want to provide them with a safe environment. They want to provide them with the best education that they can provide for them. So what do a lot of our parents do? They want to take their children to a so-called Caucasian school in the suburbs so they can have access to the best education, the best environment. But even when they leave the hood, they leave the ghetto, the curses are still going to pursue after them and follow them. So yes, you're dealing with one set of curses in the ghetto, in the low-income neighborhoods, in the F-rated schools, the D-rated schools. But when you take your children to the suburbs, there's a whole new set of curses that's going to follow after them and pursue them. That child is being terrorized. What we're seeing is terrorism towards that child. Let's get that Leviticus chapter 26, and let's start from verse 15. What that young child David is going through is terrorism. So let's get that Leviticus 26 and verse 15.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 26 and verse 15.
Uh-huh.
And if ye shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor my judgments, so that you would not do all my commandments, but that you break my covenant, I also will do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror.
What is God going to appoint over us?
Terror, consumption, and the burning egg, and that shall consume the eyes, and cause sorrow of heart. And ye shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemy shall eat it.
So that's what the Lord is going to appoint over us. If we break his commandments, he's going to appoint over us terror. And what that child is going through, because you have to imagine that child waking up every single day, dreading that time he has to get on the bus and deal with the terrorism, the harassment on that school bus. And then once he gets off the school bus and he goes into class, he has to deal with that same thing all day. And he knows in his mind, those Edomite kids who hate him, they're going to show that hatred towards him, and no one's going to be able to back him up. No one's going to be on his side because everybody's going to be against them. That's that terrorism that young child is having to deal with. This is why the scripture says this, Sirach chapter 12 and verse 10.
The book of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy.
What does the scripture say?
Never trust thine enemy.
Why?
For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
So it says never trust your enemies. They can smile in your face. They can act like your friend, but time will tell, time will show. It will reveal their wickedness, that these people have hatred towards you. So yes, you can be cordial with them out in public. We have to deal with them in this world, but always understand that these people are your enemies. These people, all these nations, hate God's chosen people. Read on.
Verse 11. Though he humbleth himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass. And thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith.
So always understand that these people are your enemies. So now the question is, we're going through this terror. What is the reward on our end if we keep God's commandments? What will happen to these nations who brought this terrorism on us, who brought this destruction on us? What will be their reward and what will be our reward? So let's get that Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 9.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 60 and verse 9. Surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from far, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of the Lord thy God, and to the Holy One of Israel, because he hath glorified thee.
So we're reading future prophecy. What will happen in the end? If we keep God's commandments and endure to the end, what will be our reward in the kingdom? Keep reading.
Verse 10. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls.
So it says the sons of strangers, the other nations, they're gonna be the ones who are gonna build up our walls. Just like how we built up their kingdoms, just like how we built up the Great Wall of China, we built up the White House, we built up America, we built up their kingdom. It's now gonna be their turn to build up our kingdom. Continue reading.
Verse 10. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on
The Lord's
thee.
gonna have mercy on us, and their kings doesn't matter if it's Joe Biden, Donald Trump. It doesn't matter. A billionaire, a trillionaire sheik from Saudi Arabia, Mark Zuckerberg, Netanyahu. Their kings are gonna be the ones who are gonna serve us, and they're gonna bow the knee to us. Continue reading.
Therefore, thy gate shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles.
The forces of the Gentiles are going to be their resources, their gold, their silver, their diamonds, their bauxite, their gems, all their natural resources, all their wealth. They're going to be bringing it to us. Continue reading.
And that their kings may be brought. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish.
They shall what?
Shall perish.
Uh-huh.
Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
And those nations who will not bow down to us, who will not serve us, those nations are going to perish.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
What is the nation?
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity.